Good day, sir. So I'm gonna explain all about my SDLC, which is the IT model, or stand for Internet Trends Software Development Life Cycle. And I'm the presenter, the Erica Inipomusino, base IT fourth year. Table of content. IT models, SDL, serve as a comprehensive guide to understanding and implementing ways in various industries. It begins with definition that outlines the purpose and benefits of an IT model and the definition of it, followed by the section of characteristic and diagram of this phenomenon and so on forth. So this is the sequence of the slides for today. Definition. So definition is for the IT model is stands for Internet Trends, which represent dynamic and responsive approach software development. Heavily influenced by Agile, so we know that Agile is very flexibility. Same goes in the IT principle. This model strongly emphasizes harnessing the power of internet trends to drive the innovation and relevance. It prioritizes collaboration, adaptability, customer centricity throughout development process. Characteristic, the key characteristic that makes it a great software development. It's flexible. When we say flexibility, it has the capacity to change. It's not a static development, but you are predicting something that what will happen, but you are expecting to adapt the changes that may client wants it, so it can work for the small and big project software. And it's also cost effective, meaning it manages the resources efficiently without sacrificing the quality. So we need a big funds in regarding in this cost effective. It needs a lot of money to enjoy the quality that needs, or the assurance that the client wants. What set it apart? It focuses on staying up to date with internet trends. So, since it is a modern era, and we have a lot of competitors in regarding of developing a software, and this one guide is the up to date. It has the capacity to keep in connections and intel to the what is the latest trend in what's happening today. So, and like technologies, and also promotes more on customer involvement. If the client, the customer wants something to be changed from a second basis of the diagram, then we can go look back, even though it's already done or it needs to maintenance, we can go back in there. So plus it uses iterative approach, which is a looping process and making it the perfect for ever changing the digital world. In a nutshell, an IT model is a versatile and powerful choices for modern software development. And for the next slides will be the IT model diagram. As you can see in this and the presentations, it has the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, up to stage 6. So each stages have definition and functionalities and the benefits of that. Then the requirements. First, let's talk about the first phase or stage 1 of IT model SDLC, which is the requirements gathering. So in here in gathering, the process begins with gathering the documenting and detailed project requirements. This phase ensure a clear understanding of the project um, goals and scope. For the stage 2, the sprint planning. In the name of sprint planning, IT model, it has characteristics also for um, fast development process, which is conduct a sprint planning session in which where they prioritize specific features and tasks, and this phase sets the agenda for the upcoming sprint. In that stage three, which is the iterative development, the development works begins with focusing in delivering minimum viable product or MVP. In the it build up a software by adding a feature, an enhancement, adding any development. This is the phase that started with developing. They are here to implement all the requirements that both development team and the client wants to entail in the software. So in stage four, quality assurance and testing. So testing is ongoing throughout the development process. And the IT teams will engage in various testing methods, including the automated testings and unit testing, and as well as the user acceptance testing, ensuring the software quality and reliability. It needs to be integrate both in every module that it has functionalities and it works well together. And in stage five, the deployment and frequent delivery. So in this stage, will happen that the your project or software are already completed, and here they need to be deployed or mass release so that the client can use it. Emphasize the delivering the functional increment of the software at the end of each sprint. This approach allows for rapid user feedback and enables team to adapt to changing requirements and user needs. In this phase, if a client wants to change something in stage two or stage one, then we can go back in there and change something without any hassle be happening, like not like waterfall model that you have a concrete idea, concrete planning in stage one, you can go back and change it everything, it needs to be done completely. So this IT model is a flexible type, so it can't be waterfall model. So I want to say for also that IT model is and have like similarities with the agile SDLC model. And when we go back to the presentation, when we go back to the presentation, the stage six, which is the continuous improvement and maintenance. So this is the final phase and involves the maintaining the software and marking the continuous improvement based on evolving requirements. So the IT development teams or developer teams prioritize the enhancing and ongoing value and relevance. This is here in the stage that they can also change whatever they like, or in the stage phases there are cleaning the any error and bugs in the software. For the next slides is the pros. So pros are here we have the flexibility, which is I explaining you like a while ago. It has flexibility that it can work very fast paced or customer satisfactions and rapid delivery and quality assurance, transparency and improvement. The cons is the constraint to be said is also called disadvantages. Of course, an IT model it has a disadvantage. Same like other models. Need a large capital expenditures. It needs a lot of funding and money to make this kind of development. So of course, number two is lacking documentation. Since we are planning the sprint planning, it has way that It needs to be studied for a long time. Even not since we are using sprint planning, it has to be a fastest and rapid way of planning in everything, like documentation and entailing what it's to be written in there. And because in software in the industry of making system, documentation is crucial because as I said before, that stages need to be done or what will happen. You need the documentation and everything so that and someone will be using your. And number three is client involvement. It has advantages and also its client involvement. It means that if a client wants to change everything, that can be a lot of work, time, and effort to do it. So it may change the environment of the team and the planning. It may perhaps that she wants to change or he likes to make it shorten the time period or the time that needs to be done will be adaptation required. So it means that adaptation requires if any of your team, like in a development team, developer that resign and his job is in the front end functionalities, that it can be hardened to find a suitable person to occupy his job assigned. So it is matter that it is a sprint planning and it's a fast paced. It will be make your time and effort on planning the process of your SDLC. Since it's a new job, it needs to be trained. It's not like a fasting, so adaptation required. Next slide. This is will be the end of my um presentations or my SDLC approach. And thank you and all is well and have a good day, sir, and God bless.